Hello to the gamers. We're gonna play a game today that is not Tekken. I'm so sorry to the people that are gonna join the stream and go, what the fuck? Where's the bears? But I don't know how to tell you this, but like, too bad, I guess. I don't know. This is Tony Hawk mixed with Hades, mixed with The Binding of Isaac. It's a roguelike, is what I'm trying to say. We're here. Steve is already resubbed. He's in. Fast as lightning. Thank you, Salty Steve. We love that. I went rock climbing, I want to say 2 days ago now. And I still feel a bizarre sense that my body has not recovered and that I'm still, like, tuckered out from climbing a wall 3 times and then going, I don't know if it's for me, and then 2 days later going, let's go back, let's go back. I know that I'm not built like a tech bro because I walked into the climbing center with 6 of my friends. They all work in tech to some degree. I'm double checking in my mind to make sure that that's correct. One of them would be like, no, I'm a manager, but like, yeah, you fucking work in tech at this point. But I walked in with all of them. They were all so excited to go to the climbing center. And for some reason, I looked at the climbing wall, and instead of being met with, like, glee and joy, I was met with the immediate fear that my fingers were going to fall off because I was straining them too much after the first climb. All of them, they were so excited. That gave them the opportunity to not go and do their jobs as hard. But for me, I'm like, brother, I kind of like my job. I don't actually know what any of the upgrades do in this game, and I don't think I ever will. In my head, I'm here to play Tony Hawk with a sword in a fashion that is almost resembling Devil May Cry, as opposed to Hades with skateboarding. And so I'm like, fucking get all this numbers and stats out of my face. I'm here to move around. If anyone's curious as to my thoughts, I think that this game is pretty cool. It's extremely rough around the edges right now, but I think that it's got an insane amount of potential. I think that it's fucking sick with it. Does this mean that we get a Hi-Fi Rush stream soon? Hell no. I haven't played Hi-Fi Rush, and I kind of don't intend to, if I'm being completely honest. I recognize that it's really, really good. People love it a lot. But I look at that game and I go, this seems like a commitment to a genre that I haven't had the essential reading of character action games, you know? I haven't played Metal Gear Rising. I haven't played Devil May Cry. I've played Devil May Cry 3 and I didn't like it. I haven't played Devil May Cry 5 all the way through. I've only, like, kind of played it. Bayonetta. I started Bayonetta and I haven't finished it. Much like every other character action game, I guess. Which isn't an indictment to the genre in general. It's more just a, I don't know, I struggle to... Every time I play a character action game, I'm sat there and I'm thinking, like, this is fine, but it's not great. Maybe it's just because I don't understand what's going on. Or maybe it's because I constantly expect it to be, like, a single-player fighting game, and it's not. Vanquish is one people always forget. I didn't like Vanquish either. I didn't even finish Vanquish the whole way through. I went, this game sucks. I liked its gameplay, but goddamn, that game was grey. Me looking at every single title that came out during the Xbox 360 generation, and now I am oddly nostalgic for it, even though I acknowledge that every game kind of looks like shit. I like character action games if they have a pretty woman. You are the ideal consumer for all video games to market to. How do we make players interested in this game? Make them have an attractive woman in them. Suddenly, League of Legends skins skyrocket. Have you noticed that they stopped making League of Legends skins for all of the fucking goofy characters? Where are my Skarner skins? Where are my Rek'Sai skins? They introduced like a new champion recently, and it's like a little dragon guy, and I'm like, yeah, he's cute, and like he's gonna get like a couple of skins, like he'll get like maybe like 3 or 4, but there's absolutely no chance that in 2 years' time that guy is gonna have more than like 2. He's going to have the one that comes out with his character release. In 6 months' time, he's going to get one more. And then in a year's time, he's going to get his 4th. And then he's going to be forgotten about. The combat makes this look really messy. It's definitely like something you kind of have to get a little bit used to. But I wouldn't describe it as messy. I'd say that kind of sometimes it doesn't feel like the enemies are communicating with each other, and so they kind of like just are constantly overlapping in a way that feels hard to get through, but maybe that's just me having a skill issue. Was I trying to play Steve? No. So what Shindin's talking about in the chat is that yesterday a wiki came out for Tekken 8, and I put a reply in, oh my god, in the like tweet that announced it, just saying like, could somebody update the Steve page because I don't have a clue what any of these stances mean. And everyone assumed that like I didn't know what the acronyms meant, as in like I didn't know that they were stances. And I'm like, of course I fucking know that they're stances. It's just that like I have to go into the game and surmise what everything is. I'm like, just give me the letters. I just need like a little extra something to make it clear. Steve players begging for one of those infographics. It's crazy how like one guy tried to be helpful and it became an entire meme. You could very reasonably go like, that's like kind of a dick move to like look at someone's like attempt at helping people and kind of taking the piss out of him for it. People were kind of spitting with that. I'm looking at that graph and I'm going, good try, but also what the fuck am I reading? And I know what the game is. I don't really play that character all that much, but like I know what the hell's going on and I don't know what I'm looking at. I'm not stupid, but pretend that I am. Let me make it clear. It's true! I think that if you like want to actually be like outwardly smart, it's like you're kind of like a dickhead. No offense. Unless it's like you have like a sense of wit about you, you know, then we're having a different conversation. I think like if anyone is like, you know, I'm a genius and I'm gonna let everyone know that I'm a genius, it's like, what the fuck? Like, maybe be a little stupider and maybe you'll be more fun to talk to. We all need to be a little bit thick, is what I'm saying. And not in like a caked up sense, more in a, you know, I lack brain cells kind of sense. Intelligent people suck, got it? That's what I'm saying. Fuck a scientist. I'm not saying fuck all scientists. I'm saying, you know, are you saying that I shouldn't be caked up? I'm saying that kinda, a little bit. I'm trying to not be caked up. I keep like looking, I live in a flat circle of time, and every, I don't know, maybe like week, I look at my desk and I'm like, I'm maybe like 2 cups away from being that one image of Asmongold, where his desk is just like completely caked in fucking McDonald's cups, but instead of McDonald's cups, it's like, you know, like 7 glasses from downstairs that I've been drinking the same water from, but for some reason felt the need to bring 4 different cups into the room for. I'm looking at that and I'm going, I think it's time that I make a change in terms of like lifestyle. And instead of just going, I'll clean it up once a week. It's like, no, brother, you need to sort your shit out. Me fucking up my desk once a week isn't me just fucking up my desk once a week. It's like an indictment of how I live my life. Why am I using the word indictment so much? It's an indictment of how I live my life. I'm like sat there going, this is fine for now, I'll deal with it later. And then next week you end up in the exact same situation. It's like, no, brother, like when you say sort your shit out, maybe actually sort it out and stop getting into the habit of going, let's fill up our desk with bullshit. Anyway, the point I was going to get at is that is also the position that I'm in health-wise as well. I'm thinking to myself, I've got to stop with this this constant cycle of I will start exercising next week and then doing absolutely fuck all in that period where I'm thinking about exercising. And then because I've done fuck all, a week passes, I do one little ride on the bike, and then I immediately go, my legs are too tired. I'm going to skip tomorrow. And then a week later, I'm repeating the exact same cycle. It's time that I just, like, figured out that I'm gonna be tired, accept it, and just push through. I think that the Tekken honeymoon period is, like, properly fading off now, because I looked at Tekken 8 in my library of games to play. I thought to myself, do I really want to commit to getting knowledge checked by a Xiaoyu for the next, like, 20 minutes? And I said to myself, I'm going to play Balatro instead. And so that's kind of nature is healing, but also I am going back to my same hyperfixations. But I still think it's really good, which is unique. You know, normally when I get to the point where I look at a fighting game in my library and I'm thinking I kind of don't want to play it right now, it comes with the emotion of that game isn't very good. Tekken 8, it's like, I'm thinking to myself, I don't really want to play that right now, but it is still really fucking good. I'm just like, I don't want to put the effort in, which is the exact same way that I feel about Guilty Gear. Guilty Gear Xrd is like, I love that game. It's incredible. It's too much effort to play for more than an hour a week. It's like, you have to focus so hard, you have to think so much that I'm like, it's incredible. Don't make me play it for too long. Otherwise, I'm gonna, like, get really pissed off and tucker myself out. Real to real. I'm glad that somebody's reeling. I'm glad that I'm getting any response out of anything, to be completely honest. Kip, you're gonna have a fucking hard time breaking down this stream into an edit. Because by God, I don't know where the fuck my brain's gone. I don't understand how streamers do it. Like, Northern Lion, for example, is like, he's like a shining star of streaming. Not to be too praising of a guy that I've never met. But I don't understand how Northern Lion manages to find 5 hours of things to say every single day for 5 days a week. It's ridiculous. He's mastered the power of yapping, well and truly. Wait, there's stream archives? Yeah, Kip is doing stream archives. So, Kip's channel at the moment is named, I think it's just named like Leon Massey Live Archive, right? And then there's also another one that's run by one of my mates who is going by Museum of Massey. I don't know if there's spaces in either of those because maybe surprisingly, I'm not a complete narcissist, and so I'm not really, like, checking up on what the streams are or how they're doing. The Library of Leon, the issue is that's too, like, I think that's too on the nose, you know? We all know that it's a Northern Lionism, but, you know, we want to at least try to be subtle about it. So, okay, let me pause. So, this game... This is why I think that people should pay attention to Helskate, even though it's still a little rough around the edges and probably not to everyone's liking at the moment. So, if you're somebody who likes skateboarding games, you've kind of like been in two camps for like a while now, where you have pure skateboarding games like Ollie Ollie World and Skate and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, and they're great, and I always love those games, and I'm always going to love those games. Then you have the second kind of camp, which is combat skateboarding games, and then inside of that, you've got another divide. You've got skateboarding games that have combat, which I feel like haven't been explored, which is what this game is doing, and then you've got games like Rollerdrome, which are combat games that have skateboarding mechanics inside of them. And I feel like the second camp is a genre that I'm not that interested in. Like, when I streamed Rollerdrome when it came out, I was very, very excited for it. And then I didn't really like it all that much, because it was a combat game that has skateboarding. This is a skateboarding game that has combat, which I feel like is a genre with way more potential for the things that I like. And so, it's like, the main draw is that you get to move around, you do tricks, and then the combat facilitates reasons to move around and do shit. The issue at the moment is that some of the enemy designs don't really facilitate that incredibly well. The skateboarding doesn't always lead into a reason to do tricks. And so, for example, I feel like if there was an emphasis on the multiplier that gave you a multiplication of damage boost as well, you would diminish some of the elements of the roguelite, but at the same time, I feel like that would be fine. Because you would lean more into, like, the skating aspect of it, which I personally think is a little bit more interesting. And then on top of that, it's like, you've got enemy designs like the big snake thing. The big snake with eyes that you grind on. That guy's fucking awesome. He's so fucking cool. There's not enough of that, in my opinion. Like, if there were more enemies where it's like you grind on the guy, and by grinding on the guy, you've like opened up the level with a dynamic spot that connects points together, that also just so happens to be contextualized as an enemy, that's fucking sick. But there aren't enough enemies that, by their existence, make the level more interesting to traverse. And so I think that this game has like an incredible, incredible potential, so long as it leans more into, like, those strengths that it has, instead of trying to, like, buff out its weaknesses. I love grinding on guys. Okay. I'm glad that that was what people took away from that. Unironically, I've been away for a while. Why are you bald? I am bald because I had a very bad haircut about 4 months ago now. No, wait, not 4 months ago now, sorry. 8 months ago now. I had a bad haircut, and I went bald because I was already thinking about going bald, and then I kept it. Anyway. Why am I in slow-mo? What did I do? Did I pause at a bad time? And I think I paused at a bad time, and it bugged the game out. That one's gone on the bug list. Oh, it's made the whole game go slow. Okay, don't... Apparently, if you pause as the game goes into slow mode, you are in slow mode permanently. Maybe? Oh my god, it's affecting the UI as well. That's... Give me the boost. Get me to this door. I'm hoping that as the next level loads, it resets all of the states, and I'm not trapped in the slow dimension. Reset me. Please. I think that loading icon is still slow. Oh, cheesy peeps, man. Speedrun tech? I think I made slow run tech by accident. Get me to that main menu. Please tell me that the main menu isn't affected by it as well. No, it's affecting the main menu. Okay, let me alt F4 this shit. 1 second. Oh. I like the fact that the what's it called, though? However, they've done the little effect on the Helskate logo. It's like being done with like mathematics as opposed to being done with a frame-by-frame animation. That's pretty cool. It's really annoying that I decided that 3D art was where I was going to like put a lot of my time and effort, because every single time I like think about what I do, it's like, you've got a traditional artist, right? Pens, paper, they go and they sell their physical media to another person who's able to grab it, hold it, and then put it somewhere else. You look at a digital traditional artist, they're making PNGs, and then they sell that on commission as a abstraction of the conventional method of selling artwork. But then you look at like 3D, and it gets messy. Some people are able to just like sell on commission, and like that's fine, that's like good. Like, don't get me wrong, that's good. But a lot of people kind of like seem to struggle to sell 3D work, and so they've all been like, not all, but a lot of 3D artists have been kind of sucked into the crypto kind of blender, not the blender, but the crypto blender, that has made it so that anytime I'm like, oh shit, that goes fucking crazy, I click on the account and it's like, also, by the way, I'm selling this for like 0.2 ether, and I'm like, you can't escape this shit. And I'm looking at it and I'm going, is this the prospect that I might have to one day indulge in, where I'm like selling hours and hours of work for a currency that by the time that it gets to me has lost value by like $100? I'm just like, I'm looking at the future and I'm going, we've got to find a way to make it so that 3D artists can get paid for things without them having to be in an occupation like game dev, where it's like, okay, you're getting paid a salary based on like making all of these assets. And also crypto space bullshit, where they're just like looking at their incredibly cool talent that they've like cultivated over years and going, well, there's math involved, and that means that it can be generative, and that means that I can put it on a market for money that isn't even fucking real. I just want to look at the future and go, what if there's an opportunity for joy here? Is all I'm saying. Being a professional creative in 2024 is real cool and not existentially depressing. I don't think he's here, and so I feel pretty comfortable saying this. My brother is a developer he works at a company, a fairly large MMO. Every single time that I go to talk to him, I need to actively like fight back against the question of asking him if there's been any layoffs at his company, because I'm sure that he doesn't want to talk about it or think about it. He's got a kid. He's got like shit to think about. I don't want to be like, hey bud, while you're having this like minor crisis over a minor problem because you have to take care of a child and the answers to solve questions aren't like linear or clear. Also, like, what about that financial crisis that we're going through and your job is uniquely vulnerable to? How's that going? I want to ask him, I want to know, like, are you in a position of risk? Because I'm like, okay, if fucking he's in a position of risk, then I can, you know, like, I'd take a sponsorship or two to make sure that he's alright, but, like, I'm like, fuck, I don't know what to do. That feel when your niece goes hungry because you didn't make the Raid Shadow Legends bag? Holy shit. Actually, like a horrid thought. I haven't had a Raid Shadow Legends offer in like a year. Maybe it's time to fucking hit up the company and just be like, look, give me like 20 quid. Papa needs his paycheck, no matter how small that paycheck may be. I spent 3 months on a graphic design commission only to find out last minute before getting full pay that they just chose to generate that they just chose to use generative imagery for making the project. Creative work is hell. That's fucked up. I know it's like a moot point at this stage, but like AI could have been so many cool things, and it's somehow just turned into, instead of optimizing the workflow for people and making it so that people can spend less time on really like dull shit and work on more specialized aspects, it's just become, what if we did the same shit, but also we didn't pay someone for it? And I'm like, this is miserable. Remember being a kid and teachers telling me AI will help us work and let us do more things? Sag. It's Sag. It's definitely Sag. And, oh, fuck. Okay, I was thinking about this earlier because I saw a tweet. I don't know if this is like an old tweet or it was like just a recent thing. But like there was an artist who like put out like their work. And it's like they're a conventional, traditional artist. But because of the proliferation of AI within the art space, people were accusing them of being an AI artist. But then, as an artist, what proof do you have that that wasn't, like, the work that you've just made wasn't made with AI? And, like, the actual answer is, well, you document the process. But it's like, why should an artist feel the need to document their process? It's so fucked how, like, even without AI being involved in the artwork, AI for traditional artists has made their life infinitely more frustrating. It's fucked. This game's good. It's on Steam at the moment. There's a demo for it if you want to play it. That deck is from the game. The devs sent it to me, and so I am, like, slightly invested in being nice. But also, I think that it's a game with, like, a lot of potential. Quick, leak the NDA. It was, a game... It was made by EA, and I actually can't leak it because... So, like, this game that was made by EA that's, like... kind of similar thematically to this, that's currently in like pre-alpha testing. The game that's like this, when you log in, the game has like an overlay that you can't get rid of that has a unique ID to you and also your name constantly darting around the screen. So if you try to leak any footage of the game, you're fucked. Like, they do not let you see shit that isn't the stuff that you're supposed to see. So it's like, you better not leak this shit. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm not gonna. 1984, so real, so true. The woke moralist game developers trying to hide our, I don't know, the cabal of game developers. This bit sucks anyway. I'll figure it out by Friday. We'll come back and we'll say it again. Okay, explosion.